Good afternoon, everybody. This is John Klaus, your former beloved commissioner. Wanted to go over the card and dice baseball site with everybody just to give you an idea of how this would work. I'm at the card and dice baseball site there, and if you click on my homepage, give you some options for the 83 demo league. You can go to league home, or you can go to my team. I'm going to start by going over to league home and just going through some of the tabs on this page. As you see here, I've entered a few games, so we can have some stats and some things to look at here on the page. It'll show standings. I've entered a couple games against Mesa City just as tests, and it'll also give you 83 league leaders on some various categories just on the main page. This is the league home. There's a members page, which just shows the teams and the owners. There's the My Team page, which there's a lot on this page. So I'm going to kind of skip over it for now, kind of get to some of this other stuff. But we will be coming back to this page. We got the players up here. This just lists all the players that are available in the league for any given year. For any 1 year, they're only loaded for 1983. There's a message board where you can post trash talk with other owners or just post something that happened in your series or whatever. There's a schedule. Right now, I just have a couple games set up again so we can show something. There's the stats page. This shows team batting, team pitching, but also you can go to batting leaders and it'll show everybody there. You can click on this to only show the qualified batters, and then also pitching leaders. Again, just this will be once the league gets going, you'll have a lot more information here, and you'll be able to click on any of these headers. So complete game headers, shutouts, wins. So this will show all the guys with wins. This will show all the guys with losses. Who's our leaders in innings pitched. Just breaking it down, and that's the way you would look at your league leaders, just by clicking on these headers to see who's leading. Then we also have a draft tab. The draft is set up for 1983 right now. This is just a test. I don't know that we're going to be putting in the 83 draft as it happened, but this would be something we would use next year. We could use this website solely as our draft headquarters, if you will. People would just come in whenever it's their pick, make a pick any player from basically that players list that's available, and everybody could just go through and do that instead of all these emails and people dropping off of emails and all the other crap that goes on with the draft. Although I will say the last two drafts run by Brian have been pretty well run. So, but this would just make it even more smooth, I think, to you would just go to the website and make your picks. There's also a transactions page. This is just how we've added players in there as of right now, but it's also list trades. There's a history. Right now, obviously, this league would not have any history, and we don't have the rules on here yet either. So I am going to go back to my team, and here we see my roster for 1983. It shows this is where we would have the limits for everybody. Right now, or the way this website is set up, the limit is at bats. Don't worry about that. We would still do by games. But in order for the games to show up properly, we have to put an at bat limit in here. Don't worry about the at bat limit. It's just for show. Nothing that we plan to change. But then here's your games. So Hal McRae has had 3 of his 79 game limits. So once it reaches that limit, then everybody, would know that, oh, this guy's going over his limits. So pitchers are the same way. In this case, for pitchers, the limit is innings pitched. So you can see John Montefusco, he had 67 innings. He now has 59 left. And he has 1 of his 8 games started. So this is going to work exactly as our Excel spreadsheet did before, but you're going to be able to see those limits changing as people enter their stats. So it's a much more efficient way, instead of basically the commissioner having to go through at the end of the year and figure out who went over their limits and stuff like that. It'll just be much, much easier to work with. We also have here our lineups. This is the way we would handle lineups. All of your lineups can be entered here as starters. Now, when you first get into this, all of these would be blank. So you would be putting in each player, and then what you can do is save that as a default. And then when you come back next month, you can load default. So you can save up to 3 default lineups. And that, by loading that just makes next month go that much quicker. You can put notes here next to the players, next to your starters. Here's your starting pitcher. You can put notes there. Here's your relief pitchers. You can put notes there for when you want them to be used. You could do the same thing for your bench players when you want them to pinch hit or when you want them to come in as a defensive replacement. You also have room for your batting notes, pitching notes, and game notes. I'm not sure if Ed Hubbard will be able to fit all of his stuff in here, but I think most everybody else will have a pretty easy time getting their lineups and such here. And as you can print your opponent's lineup for the games. Oh, you set your starting pitchers here. So that's just a drop down list of your pitchers, and you select your starter for each game there. So this shows all the games that are at Shiloh, and then also the games that are at Mesa City. You can print your opponent's lineup, as I mentioned, if they have something in there, or once they have something in there by the beginning of the month. Obviously, those deadlines would not change, but you can then print it out, or it'll be right here on the website and you'll be able to get it. So let me think what else there is here. I don't think I need to discuss anything else on lineups. I'm going to go back to the My Team. The stats, we've already looked at stats. Here we have results from the regular season games. As you can see, I won the first 2 games. And the next thing I'm going to do is actually enter a game. And what I did to find these games is I went to Ballstat last year from last season and just picked a game actually against Berks County. But whatever works for us. And I've just substituted those players in. So I am going to pull a Shiloh Cannons game. Actually, I'll bring this over here so you can see it. And I'm going to use the one from 8-9. I've already done 8-6. No, actually, I did 8. What the hell am I looking at now? Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry, 8-6. 8-7, I've already entered. 8-8, I've already entered. So 8-9 would be the next one. So I'm going to select that and drag that over here. And I'll shrink it down. Oops, not too much. And I'll kind of show you how stats are entered for a game. Close that one out. You go to the schedule, and this will allow you to select these games. You'll notice how it becomes highlighted when I hover over it. I click that, and it has 2 boxes here. One is to enter results. The other is to enter stats. The first thing I'm going to do is enter results, and that's just going to be a line score of the game. And so in this game, I might have to drag this over here so I can see it, but you guys won't be able to. Looks like the only runs for, oops, enter a 2 there. That's going to be 0, 1, 0, 0, 3, 0, 2. Okay, that's all you need to do to enter the results of the game. You can put a game recap here if you want to type some things there. I'm going to validate this. And it's going to give me a note down here that says Shiloh Cannons beat Mesa City Mugshots 6-2 in 9 innings. If this is correct, you may save the game. So save. Now I got to go back into the schedule and enter the other side all the stats for the game. So that's enter stats. Now here we can see everything's blank. All those players are available in a drop down. But once you've entered one game, you can just load previous game. And it'll put in both lineups for both teams from the last time you entered a game. Does not put in pitchers. Not sure why, but I guess you're going to have a different starting pitcher. So it's going to be different anyway. So for Jerry Mumphrey, he went 2 for 4, and he had a strikeout. I'm going to come back because the way the box score is, it doesn't really say, doesn't put doubles, triples, homers with each batter. It's down below, so that's I'll come back to that and enter any of those. So Dawson went 1 for 4, and he had a strikeout. Paul Molitor, 1 for 4. Oops. Now you'll notice I accidentally put 40 there. That wouldn't be good. Paul Molitor also had a strikeout. And we just continue on through the lineup. Entering our stats as we go along. Nothing else for him. Eddie Murray. Oops. Ozzy also had an error in this game, so we will put that in there. And Sandberg also had an error, so we will add that for him. Or I'm sorry, Gantner. So now I'm going to pick up the doubles, triples, anything else that happened. Mumphrey had a double. Lowenstein had a double. And that's going to be it. Oh, Murray had a home run. We'll get that in there. Also, any stolen bases, caught stealing. Nobody had stolen bases. Only my team had sacrifice fly. Let's see. Molitor grounded into a double play. And that'll be it for that. So all of his stats are entered. Now we drop down to pictures. Hopefully I didn't use Vukovic earlier while I was inputting stats. He took the loss. I know this is gripping video to watch, isn't it? Did he allow any homers? He didn't. I didn't hit any homers. Okay, there's runs. And then he also used, oh, not a game started, just an inning pitched with a walk. Okay, so we're done with his side of the ledger. And now we just do the same thing for my side of the ledger. And I'm going to actually have to do that because it won't save and validate properly if I don't. So we're going to put strikeout. That's actually going to be Rod Carew. 2 walks and a strikeout. Oops, too far. McRae. 0 for 4 with a run and a ribby. I could do some endless patter as I finish typing these in, but what fun would that be? Okay. Hall of Famer Harold Baines. 2 walks and an RBI. Forgot Parrish's strikeout there. Baines. So as you can see, this isn't overly difficult. It's a little bit tedious, but kind of once you get the hang of it, it gets a little bit easier. You know you're going to lose quickly in the playoffs when you're starting Mike Fischlin at shortstop. Yes, I was quickly dispatched in the playoffs. And no errors for my guys. Let's go down to, let's go to doubles, see if I missed anything there. Parrish had 2. Baines had a homer. Already got Parrish's 2 doubles. see. McCray had a sacrifice fly. Baines grounded into double play. Let's see if there's anything else I missed. Oh, Chet Lemon was hit by a pitch. Okay, that should be it for that. My pitchers. Oh, who was I saying was starting this game? Don't remember. We'll put Danny Cox in there. As these stats are made up, I can get away with that, right? Get the win. But obviously you would know from your box score. I'm looking at a box score from last year, so it doesn't have all these same players on it. So that's my excuse. I'm sticking with it. Dave LaRoche. Do I even have LaRoche anymore? Doesn't look like I do. I'll give his innings to... He looks good, like a good Dave Tobick candidate. Just an inning pitched. Nothing else. And I believe I still got Mike Prawley. Didn't qualify for a save, but gave me 2 innings and 2 runs. What the hell? That's what I get for using an A pitcher in a non-save situation. He's one that gave up the homer. 2 and 2. So that's all the players. Should be everything. So I'm going to save this first so I don't lose anything. And then I'm going to hit this validate button. Uh-oh. Home team home runs. Home runs hit does not match the visiting team home runs allowed. I forgot to put that home run allowed by Harold Baines. Come on, mouse. Work. It's a little more difficult when your mouse decides it wants to play around a little bit. So that should, now I validate and the score sheet is valid. Click finish to save and close the score sheet. So there's my box score. Looks lovely. And we can go back to League Home. And you'll now see that has been added to the scores up here at the top. Standings have been updated. Leaders have been updated. Kind of hard to tell exactly. Oh, looks like I did use Vukovic. Shouldn't have used Vukovic again because he's now 1-1. Can't be used twice in the same series, but you get the idea. So it's really that easy. It's not overly difficult. I don't think it's anything any of us can't handle. And that's what we would be looking at. I think this would really improve overall, just the stats in general would be so much better. I think, I like the fact that you can come here and just see, oh, hey, somebody entered some other games. How did I do? Or how did the other teams do that I'm chasing in the division or whatever. Standings would be automatically updated. You could see everything right away, as opposed to wait until the end of the month to see everything. Leaders, again, you can see all that right away. You also get to see, your limits right there. It's automatically done right there. You can see it. It's just a really nice system, which I think will really help us out, especially come draft time too. We just won't have all those emails going back and forth with lineups and and everything else that we have to send out, instructions and results and all that. Everything is right here on this website. So hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.